Welcome back to the Bluechip Breakdown, Vols fans. I'm your host, Bull, and we just got a big commitment from Antoni Ogumoro, who is a 6'5", 290-pound interior offensive lineman from Elgin, Oklahoma. This one came down between us, the Midwest schools, and North Carolina, and I'm very happy that our Vols were able to pull this one out. Please make sure to like and subscribe. Let's go ahead and jump into the video. All right, so that's Cade right there, and I'm just going to highlight him because sometimes that little pointer is going to be off the mark. I just want to make sure that everyone knows where he is. He is number 55. A lot of times he's playing at left tackle. Let's go ahead and go through. Boom. First off, really good burst off of this football, okay? That's the number one thing that we're seeing is that he looks really good getting out of his stance from left tackle. Boom, gets up to the second level. Good job with his hand placement. Good job driving his feet. Pushes that little kid way out of the way. That's really nice for the first play. Let's keep in mind he's probably going to be playing on the inside. Now here, same thing, getting up to the second level, you can tell that he's a really good athlete. And you like this at the end. Some people are going to be asking why. I'm going to tell you why. Because you want your offensive linemen to be bullies. And he's not afraid to push these little kids around. Now, I think that could have almost been a block in the back. He's got to be careful with that. But you just love that type of nastiness with your interior offensive line especially. That's a beautiful burst up to the second level. That looks great. All right. Whenever you're talking about guys playing on the interior, they've got to be really quick. They've got to be fast, especially getting up to the second level. Does a great job of that. Boom, up there, pushes the kid around, drives him, power drives him into the floor. I love it. Again, second level. What I like about this one is you're paying attention to this right here. He's kind of going up underneath the other offensive lineman. This just shows the separation in talent and in athleticism that he has versus the players on his team. And he's got good straight line speed too. That's going to be very impressive to NFL scouts and things like that once he gets to that point. But so far, so good with Antoni. I like the way that he looks just coming out of his stance, right? Like, I mean, he looks like he's kind of going up under that chute that we talked about before in spring practice. You have to love that. Being able to stay low in and out of your stances is huge if you're playing on the inside because it's all about leverage. And a lot of times, the low man will win. Looks like Antoni won't have any problems bending and staying low and then finishing blocks after the point of contact. So on this one, he's playing at right guard, okay? I want to make sure that everyone can see this because, he does move around on his offensive line a lot, and you'll see that they like to run behind him. So right here at right guard, he's just blocking down, and he gets a good push. I mean, that's actually a great push. He kind of took his own teammate out, but you love to see that, right? I mean, this is a really, really nice push up to the second level, and it's good hand placement. Now, he does have some things that he's going to have to work on for sure, just like everyone else that's coming up out of high school to college. That transition is not always seamless. I think that his will be he just needs to get a little bit better coaching, and he's going to be a lot better than what we're even seeing right here on film. So at left tackle on this clip, and good job there on a little bit of a reach block, not necessarily too much of a reach, but, he does a good job just of getting his body turned. And you most definitely love to see that. Right here, boom, finishes the play with the strong point of emphasis and some nastiness, kind of walks over that kid. All right, and here playing at left tackle. Good job on that little chip. He actually knocks that kid down on that chip. That's nice. Now, this is a screen. So look at that speed. Boom. I mean, oh my gosh, that was gross to see the way that he was able to take that kid out. That was nice. All right, so on this play, we've got him playing at left tackle. Just a very seamless burst and transition up to the second level. Let's go back a few ticks. All right, let it go again. Boom, gets up to the second level. That is really nice. And he actually takes out two people on that play. All right, boom, right here is playing at left tackle. Let's watch him go to work. And, I mean, that's just incredible, right? He takes out, again, it looks like about two people that he was kind of able to wall off, but he drives his man about 10 yards down the field. Boom, bring it back. All right, so nice job there. Just very suddenness. He might wrestle, and you can actually kind of tell that he plays basketball. He is a multi-sport athlete. Well, you could tell with a lot of his footwork stuff that his lateral quickness is insane. He can work very, very well. He's explosive inside of a phone booth. Right here, he's at left tackle. Boom. Gets his head down. Good push, good drive. He's not afraid to push people around. And that's a good job right there on a little bit of a seal block. Okay. Getting guys out of the way. Again, he's not playing up against the best competition, so it's not always the best gauge, but you can just tell, right? Like right here, this is kind of what I was talking about with the basketball reference. Look at his feet. Really good job of breaking down and playing in the open field. And then finding his man and just taking him down to the floor. He's going to get a lot more explosive, too, as he gets into a college weight room. Then the same thing again here. That is really, really nice. Okay. That's next level stuff. It's not easy to necessarily well, you can kind of teach it, but he almost has it on a very natural level. So I'm impressed by that. Now, here playing at right guard, I believe, maybe at right tackle. You love to see him on combination blocks as well. That's going to be a big part of the scheme for him coming up to college at Tennessee. Good job getting off of the line of scrimmage, just pushing his man out of the way, getting up to the second level, doing the same thing, doing it inside of a crowd. And here he's playing at right guard. They do this a lot in this like goal line sort of set for him. So he looks good doing that. Okay, we're actually getting to see him play more at his natural position. And in pass protection, he is going to have to work on some things. But run blocking, so far, y'all, he looks great. I'm very impressed with it. Second level, he can get there without a question. And he's got long arms too. They might not be the longest, but he knows how to use every single inch of his body well. Now, I like what I saw right there. Let's go back to that. All right, boom. So right here, this is the part that I like in pass protection. Now you're looking at his feet; they're almost clicking together. That's not good. His base isn't right, and that's something that can most definitely get fixed in coaching. But this is why I think that he's more of an interior offensive lineman as opposed to a tackle, which they call the dancing bears. He just doesn't have that down quite yet. I think that he can work into it. But anyway, watch the way that right here, okay, he's fighting, he's training, but this right here, seeing that, he's throwing his hips forward, kind of bending his back, that's what you like to see. That lets me know that he understands how to use his body to add a little bit of extra strength whenever he needs it. So that's very impressive from a young buck that we will see up on campus next season. Boom. Nice job right there. Again, in his set. You can tell that whenever he, maybe at this point in the season, maybe he's been coached a little bit more because his fundamentals, his technique looks a lot better. Boom. Okay. See, yeah, like you can just kind of tell, like he's picking it up. So this is impressive. This is definitely very impressive. And that wasn't the worst. It definitely wasn't the best. But let's go back to the start of it. Now, what I don't like is seeing his feet crossing. Okay, that's just something that he's gonna have to work on. But as far as his body is staying in the right spot, which is pretty crazy to see. Someone whose footwork is off, but they're able to keep their body there. That's a sign of a really good athlete. So impressed by that. Pass protection is definitely taking it up a couple of notches so far. Back at left tackle, got a blitz coming off the edge. That's a good job of getting to his man and not letting him go. So you can tell he's got strong hands as well. That's going to be very important, obviously, for offensive linemen. Here we've got him at left tackle. Good job getting, he gets out of his stance really quickly. I know that might sound like it's stupid to y'all, but that is a big deal for offensive linemen, especially making the transition from high school to college because everything speeds up a lot. So any little extra bit of speed that you can add to your game is going to help you out a lot. And he's very quick in and out of his stance, and that was a nice job just of kind of getting into his set as a pass blocker. So good job there. And right here, we've got him playing at left tackle. Good job on a down block of just neutralizing his guy. Now, you would like to see him stay on top of him a little bit more, but he's going to be fine. I'm telling you, it's just going to take a little bit more coaching and getting his technique and fundamentals right, and he's going to be just fine. At left tackle, again, good burst off of the ball. Good job throwing his hips into the block. Love to see that. I think that I've actually seen enough to know exactly what we have right here. That right there is really nice. I love that second effort. And now we've got him at left tackle again. Good job right there of neutralizing his man. So we're going to stop it right here because I think that we've got a good idea of who he is as a player. Whole lot to love. Let's go ahead and jump into his grades. All right, so let's start with Antoni's athlete grade. The first thing that jumps out to me is how quickly he can get out of his stance. For a big man, 6'5", about 300 pounds, he moves very well. He can change directions very well, and he has relatively good footwork. Now, keep in mind that whenever you're playing on the interior of the offensive line, it's about being able to move really, really quickly inside of a very small space from left to right. He can do that, I think, at a really high level, and he's showing that on his film. I'm going to give him 4 stars as an athlete. Now for Antoni's toughness and physicality grade. I love the way that he gets up to the second level, and he's not afraid to push people around. He definitely is that bully that we love and need up front. He also kind of walks over people after he pancakes them. You see him getting excited about it, and he also will show that effort, that willingness to continue to pursue players on defense just to get in on some contact. I love everything about the toughness, grittiness, and physicality of his game. I'm going to give him 5 stars in this category. All right, now for Antoni's pass blocking grade. There's a lot that I love here, but there's also some room for improvement with Antoni on film. And the first thing that I will say is that he has quick feet, but he doesn't necessarily always have good feet. And what I mean by that is he will be able to move his feet quickly, but they kind of cross each other. You don't want to do that, especially playing up on the higher levels. And even more so if you're playing on the outside at like a tackle position, which I don't think that he's going to end up at. But if he is playing out there, some players can kind of set you up to the outside and come back to the inside. you'll probably end up falling over your own 2 feet just because you're crossing them up. So he needs to work on that. But as far as his body control in pass protection, it looks really good. He does a good job of kind of getting to his sets, and really good hand placement. And, he has a good punch. Okay. He's got pretty long arms. He's got strong hands. I think he's going to be fine here once he gets more coaching up on campus with us. I'm going to give him 3 stars in this category for now, but just keep in mind that he will be able to improve significantly once he gets with our coaching staff. And finally, for Antoni's run blocking grade, I love the way that he's able to get out of his stance and stay low and still be explosive. That's going to be critical if he's playing on the interior of our offensive line. He also does a really good job of getting up to the second level. So he has that quickness and that burst and that willingness. Now, once he gets to the point of contact, he has really strong hands, really good body placement. Whether the run's going to the right, to the left, or it's coming right behind him, he knows how to position himself to wall guys off and create lanes for his running backs. Does a really good job of that. And he's also nasty. He wants to finish those blocks. So there's a lot that I love about his game. And I would give him 5 stars here, but I just don't see him going up against the best competition. A lot of times he really is going up against guys that are, about half his size. And you could say, yes, that's going to be true for most offensive linemen in high school. But I think that his level of competition is very, very low. Does it mean that his game can't translate? I wouldn't say that, but I can only give him 4 stars for that reason. So let's recap Antoni's grades. We gave him 4 stars as an athlete, 5 stars on toughness and physicality, 3 stars as a pass blocker, and 4 stars as a run blocker, which brings his blue chip overall grade 4 stars. And that's a little bit higher than where most of the experts have him projected at, but I think that that's where he's going to end up at. He's a really good player, okay? Shows a whole lot of, a great foundation that I feel like this staff is going to be able to continue to build on top of. And he's the player that I have probably playing a lot more on the right side just because he's going to be better as a run blocker, in my opinion. Now, we don't know how much he's going to grow and change from now to the time that he gets on campus and from his first year to his second year. But I would say that by his second year, he should be a player that we can maybe look to either be a starter or be fighting for a starting spot at right guard on this team. Now, we do have a really good offensive line in front of him, but hey, man, iron sharpens iron. And I think that he's just going to be able to increase his game significantly getting up on campus with our guys. Now, he can also play at center. We'll see what happens there with William Satterwhite, with Vice and Lang. Will they still be, around? Will they have grown enough to be the surefire starters once Cooper Mays leaves? Or, do we think that a guy like Antoni can come in and kind of fight for some playing time early on there? I think that he could do that. Haven't seen him snap the football, but just as far as his total body of work, I think that he could be a very good center. He has perfect size for it. And also, he could end up growing into a tackle. It just really all depends on how much he changes once he gets the proper technique and fundamentals taught to him by Coach Glenn Ellerby. But I think that this is a really big pickup for our volunteers, and hopefully he does get that 4 star just to help us out a little bit in the recruiting rankings. I know how important that is to a whole lot of us volunteer fans. But thank y'all so much for sticking all the way to the end. Please make sure, as always, to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Please do not be shy about sending some donations our way. We do need that to continue to grow this channel, and we would greatly appreciate it. And we'll see y'all on the next one. Thanks. Peace.